There's a flood of new questions tonight about that taxpayer money that was supposed to help victims of the flooding in Cook County back in 2008. We have dug through hundreds of documents and found that when it comes to who got help by that grant, it's all in the family. Specifically, the family of the former Cook County official who handed out the money. A Dane Placco investigation for Fox Chicago.
As our life is turned upside down, our kids have, nowhere to play.
Charlie Melidosian is caught in bureaucratic limbo. Like thousands in Cook County, his basement was badly damaged during the flood of 2008. Help was supposed to come from a $10 million federal disaster grant administered by Cook County. But after some initial work, that money has dried up, leaving the homeowners with empty promises and empty basements.
It's been like this essentially for 4 months now?
Correct.
4 months.
4 months.
Not fun.
No basement.
Maybe Charlie and the others would have had better luck if they were related to this man.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. David Ramos, Executive Director, Homeland Security Emergency Management.
This is David Ramos last summer, telling Cook County Commissioners how great the disaster grant was working.
The grant is coming close to an end.
But he did not tell Commissioners how great it was working for his family. Fox Chicago News has identified 2 properties owned by Ramos's father, Thomas Ramos, that received money from the federal grant. This home in the 4600 block of South St. Louis got $1,700 in mortgage assistance, paid with disaster dollars. And this rental property near Halsted and 18th got a big basement makeover.
And how does it look down there now?
It's beautiful.
It's nice?
Beautiful. Yes, it is.
Tenant Darren Wright says he was living in that basement apartment when it flooded in 2008. He says several months ago, owner Thomas Ramos got the money to repair the damage.
They redid the whole thing. They took the floor up. They did all the repair. They gutted it pretty much, basically.
So it was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work.
You'll find Tom Ramos's name on a sign above the door, but you will not find it in these county documents listing people who got money from the grant. So we went to the Recorder of Deeds and found that Ramos is indeed the property owner. Ramos is also the owner of record for the home on St. Louis. Yet Homeland Security's documents say the grant money went to Mark Fabian. Who's Mark Fabian? Well, he's a county employee who lives in the house and is married to Tom Ramos's daughter, which makes him the brother-in-law of David Ramos, who administered the grant.
This disaster grant is seemingly never-ending.
We showed our findings to Commissioner Bridget Gaynor, who says it's yet more evidence the federal disaster grant was a spigot of cash for insiders.
These are the last gasps of the last administration, where we saw this type of thing happen all the time, and people got cynical about it.
Now the mess is in the hands of a new county administration. Board President Tony Preckwinkle tells me it could still take weeks to sort through jumbled boxes of records and figure out who got what, and whose basements will eventually be fixed. As for David Ramos,
well, the first thing I should say, Dane, is that walking in the door, we fired David Ramos, who was in charge of the disaster grants. And we had questions about his competence, and of course there had been all these questions about corruption in the office. So he was gone the first day.
we were unable to reach David Ramos for comment. I did speak this afternoon with his father, Tom Ramos, a retired Chicago police officer. He told me he could not talk because of an ongoing investigation. Both the Cook County Inspector General and State's Attorney Anita Alvarez are digging into the flood grant, all that big mess, trying to figure out exactly where all of that $10 million went.
$10 million. It had to be
$10.3 million.
Had to be accounted for. It has to be a crime for it not to be accounted for, right?
Well, one would think so. I mean, there is, we believe, a criminal investigation going on through the state's attorney's office, a grand jury investigation, trying to figure out where all that money went.
Well, and if they figure out, can we get any of it back if it was misspent, or will anybody go to jail, or, you know?
All questions to be answered. We'll be watching. We've been following this story, as you know, Robin, for many months now, and it continues to unfold in mysterious directions.
All right. Thank you, Dane.
All right.